our culture has afforded us such ease that we have in our ease all of our Bible teaching. If you go back and you look, I think this is a pretty fair, and I haven't done the hard research, but I can just tell you anecdotally that we have largely focused in the West on flourishing. We want flourishing marriages, and Scripture's got plenty to say about marriage. We want to be parents that flourish in our parenting, that we aren't disengaged. We're engaged parents. We want to flourish in our finances. We're affluent. We want to make sure that we do that in a way that honors God. We want to do it well. And so we've had largely, you had a little blip on the radar screen back in September 11th, right? The 2001 scenario, where we thought, oh, maybe there's a threat. But it's been so easy for us that the threat has been this slow erosion, creep, cultural creep. We've huddled together and we've grown and we've gotten the gospel out all over the world. I think still to this day, it's 78 or 86 cents of every dollar that goes to the cause of world missions comes from this country. And so the church has done a lot of beautiful things, but we've largely focused on ourselves and prospering ourselves and flourishing. And we don't know anything about fighting at all. So when you begin to talk about, there may be a time to fight. I can see, I've seen in my own fellowship, people just cringe, like, oh no, we're not going to. Well, Jesus wouldn't fight.
Yeah,
we're not going to fight anybody. We're not going to get aggressive. There's no reason to fight. There's not even a threat.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a problem. So I don't think you're being reactionary. I think you see it clearly, and we're not talking just simply because we both agree, but we are both concerned as we look on.
Well, let's see if we can describe the threat to the best of our ability. Because here's the deal. I think, and hopefully people who are watching this would think this, because I want to try to reach a broad audience. But I think that there are some people who would say. And I was watching this last night with a well-known pastor in America, and I don't think I'm being unfair, and I'm going to use his name because I want people to be able to go back and look at this and make sure that I am being fair. Yeah. So I was listening to Andy Stanley talk about some upheaval in his church when he decided that he was not going to have church until COVID was just like totally over. Like for a year, they had decided we're not going to.
New Zealand zero COVID policy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we're done for a year. We're going to do online only. And he got a bunch of kickback from that decision. And I believe it sure seemed apparent to me that essentially what he did in this message where he's talking about cultural war Christians is he's castigating all the people who disagree with his idea and painting them with this brush, and he's calling them cultural war Christians. Instead, we've tried to avoid being cultural war Christians. So he creates his own term, and then he defines his own term, and he says cultural war Christians are essentially this: people who always think they're under attack and are always against stuff and never for stuff. And I'm sure there's people who are amening and clapping to that. The only problem is that I think he's creating a straw man. I think if you have any understanding of Jesus and church history, you understand that the church has actively been about fighting things that are going on in the culture and resisting those things in order because of their fiduciary responsibility to the Scripture, to Christ, to take a stand against these things.
You can catch brand new episodes of Indie Thinker with Reed Huberman every Monday and weekly bonus episodes to keep you thinking throughout the week. But you have to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new episodes drop. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like this video and share it with friends.